Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. How are you guys doing today? Can you believe it's Sunday again, which means a brand new video here at Ramon at Home. And I cannot be more excited because in this video, I'm gonna share with you a compilation of over 5 summer DIYs for your patriotic decorating this year. These DIYs are going to go all the way from the front door, which is a beautiful wreath, all the way through the house with a beautiful tablescape, a sideboard, and then we're gonna go to the patio and I'm gonna share with you how to set up a gorgeous patio for this summer. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video because that really helps the channel, and share with a friend. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you are already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you're notified about all of the upcoming videos, especially the holiday season. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. All right, everyone. So to create this beautiful 4th of July wreath for your 4th of July celebration this year, we're going to need, of course, a wreath form. We're going to need a hot glue gun or a hot glue pen. In my case, I like to use the pen because it is easier to dip. I'm going to be needing a stapler, my wire cutters, and some scissors. I'm going to be needing 2 types of ribbon, and I just chose these ones from Hobby Lobby. They have a really good variety of 4th of July, and I just love this sparkly one. I think it is super cute. I am going to be needing one of these plaques from the dollar store, but you can also find them at other retailers like Hobby Lobby and Walmart. Some have some really cool signs. I'm gonna be needing 2 of these picks of stars from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be needing 2 of the smaller picks with a little starburst from Hobby Lobby as well. And for my florals, I'm going to be needing some blue hydrangea, red roses. I'm gonna be needing some of this beautiful wax flower, and also I'm gonna use some Christmas ornaments in red matte and then also in shiny, as well as a variety of greeneries that we're gonna start for our wreath. So let me get all of this situated and I'll be right back with you to give you step number 1. All right, everyone, so to make this fabulous 4th of July wreath, the step number 1 is going to be to attach our little plaque or sign into our wreath. And I already went ahead and attached 2 pipe cleaners cut a corner of each other right here with a stapler or a staple gun that I have, and I just went ahead and put 2 staples on each to hold this in place. And I kind of want it to be cut a corner right here. So basically what you need to do is grab your corner right here and twist it. I'm just gonna give it a light twist, and then I'll go back and reinforce, because first I want to make sure that it is on place. So right here, now I can go ahead and twist really good, and I'll cut these strings at the end. Remember to always just get it in place, and then we'll worry about this later, okay? So that's where that's going to be, right here in the corner. And I want to make a beautiful bow for this corner right here. I'm gonna add some greeneries, but I always recommend to add your bow first, because by adding the bow first, you're gonna save all this perimeter right here of adding greenery. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this beautiful shiny red, white, and blue, actually red, white, and silver ribbon, and I'm gonna do a little tail, probably about 12 inches. I'm gonna pinch right here, and then I'm going to do a simple loop bow, and I want a trio. And just like we do in Christmas, you can make 2 loop bows, you can make 1 loop bow, or you can make 3 loop bow. And in this occasion, for this particular ribbon, I'm just gonna go ahead and add 3 of them, because I wanna have enough ribbon for some tails later on. So I'm gonna cut right here. I'm gonna leave this tail a little bit longer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the other ribbon that I have with a Star Spangled Banner, and I'm gonna leave another tail, probably another foot, and I'm gonna introduce this right here. But when I make this bow right here, I'm gonna start with a loop that is about the same size as the other ones, and then I'm going to twist and make sure that the designer part is facing forward, so that way it shows on your ribbon like this. So that's 2. That looks pretty good. We have 3. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut right here my ribbon. We'll dovetail all towards the end. Remember, if I come to your home and your ribbons are not dovetailed, most likely I'm gonna ask you for a pair of scissors to help you dovetail your ribbon. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start another loop, and I'm gonna drop it on the floor, which is what I always do. It is easier to work this way. All right, so I'm gonna add right here. Then I'm gonna add yet another loop going up. That way we have 3 loops of this particular ribbon. And then I'm going to leave another longer tail. Remember, we're gonna dovetail all of this at the end. Then you're gonna grab a pipe cleaner and you're going to grab all of your loops together, and then you're going to go back. And you don't let go of your bow until it's really, really tight. Like this, and then you twist. Like so. You guys remember you used to give me all this grief about me saying like so? I kind of finally got over it. And now I just don't use it as much. All right, so that's what our bow is going to look like. How patriotic. And I'm going to attach a catty corner to the plaque. So I'm gonna grab both of the pipe cleaners. Then I'm gonna go up here, kind of catty corner like this. And we're going to attach really tightly. And then now we're gonna flap our bow to make sure that all of these loops are showing like this. We'll dovetail towards the end, so therefore I'm gonna put all of my tails towards the back, like this. Make sure you, the hardest part about making a bow like this is just fluffing and making sure it stands where you want it to be. All right, I'm gonna use some of this ribbon later on to add another area, so stay tuned. All right, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring out all of my greeneries, and I'm gonna start, remember you wanna start with one type of greenery at a time, and I'm gonna start with this palm leaf that I have from Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna dip into my glue, and I'm gonna start right here. And every time I insert a greenery, I give it a little twist, so it's got more character. Like that, look at that. You want to make sure that it stands forward. Then we're gonna recede back. I want to start right here where the plaque ends, and then we're gonna start receding back like that. And remember, what happens on the left happens on the right, and what goes up must come down. So if you put one up, immediately move down here and add another one right about the same size as the other one. And then I'm gonna add some filler pieces, and I'm gonna get closer to my bow now. So I'm gonna start right here. See what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about all this space right here. Adding greenery, and that's gonna save you a few bucks because you don't have to fill up all of the space in there. So I'm gonna get closer to my bow right here. And then I'm gonna add one here in the back to make it look all cohesive and full. So I'm gonna clip this guy, and then I'm going to add one back here. Make sure this sticks out like this, so that way you have greenery all the way around. So now I'm gonna grab some of this filler greenery that I have, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling in all of those spots. And if you don't have one of these glue pens, I really do recommend you get yourself one, because it really does help to work faster on your projects, because you are not having to like pull out the glue gun. And I'm just telling you, it is so much easier. I promise you, you won't regret it. You can find one on Amazon.com, or you can also find it. It's a skillet that you would actually fry eggs in, but we in the industry have adopted and use it for crafting. All right, so I'm going to add now some of these eucalyptus, and I'm gonna add only a few because I don't want it to overpower this right here. So I'm just gonna add to make it look fuller. And make sure that your stem really goes in the form. That way you're not gonna be wrestling when you're adding other things like this. Like this one right here, I don't think it went in all the way. Let's see, right there. So I'm gonna add one up here. I'm gonna add a smaller one up here. Remember, what we're trying to do is fill in as much as we can of that form, but also without overpowering your bow. I'm gonna add a little one back here because you wanna make sure that you have all of the greeneries. I'm gonna cut it shorter. You wanna make sure that you have all of the greeneries all the way around. So I'm gonna add one to the back. And how fabulous is this? Now you have greenery all the way down, all the way around. You have your statement bow, and now we're gonna move on to some floral. So let me get all of those ready and I'll be right back, so keep watching. Okay, so I have some of these beautiful blue hydrangea that I spray painted. You guys have seen me how to do that, but if you don't, let me show you real quick. All right, everyone, so I want to show you real quick how I use this Larkspur blue spray for silks. And you just basically want to Lightly spray the flower, but don't forget to go under it as well, because when hydrangeas grow blue, they have this decoloration that is like stronger in some sides and less in others. So that's what you need to do, and I'm gonna link this below. Okay, so now that you know what spray to use and how to spray paint your blue hydrangeas, I'm going to start by adding some of these closer to the bow. So I'm gonna add this one first, and be sure to give it a little curvature so the hydrangea pops out. Dip it into your glue, let it run a little bit. Be careful because this glue gets really, really warm. Then I'm gonna insert like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a bend forward so the hydrangea faces forward. I'm gonna add another one here, and I'm just gonna add 3 of these bigger flowers. Once again, we're trying not to compete with our bow. So I'm gonna add one here, face it forward, and I feel like I need to add another one right here, but I'm gonna cut it a little bit short, like this. Just add a little bit of glue, and we're going to add it right here. See how you don't need a whole bunch of florals to create some statement piece? So now what I'm going to add is some red roses, and you guys know that I like to work in sets of 2, 3s, and 1s. So we're going to add a set of, actually I'm gonna add just one here, closer to my plaque. Remember, what goes up must come down, so we're gonna add another one down in the bottom. You wanna have all the same materials all the way around your wreath. Then I'm gonna add a set of 2 right here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue. Just wanna go ahead and add that rose. Once again, make sure it goes into your form, especially if you're selling it. You don't want your clients to have roses flying away in the middle of their 4th of July celebration. So make sure that you just add them. See how you, by adding 2, clustering 2 together, it really does add a focal point versus having them all polka dotted. That is a big lesson that I learned working in the industry, that you don't want to polka dot your roses or your flowers because you don't make them make a statement. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of roses. So I'm going to add another one right here. Make sure it goes into the form. And I'm going to add 2 right there just to make a bigger statement. So I'm going to grab a little bit of glue, and I'm going to add 2 roses like that. And then I have 2, I'm gonna add one back here on the back to kind of bring the flowers all the way around. Remember, always never forget the back of your wreath, because you wanna make sure that it's all the way around. Like this. So far, so good. I like the way this is looking. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of this beautiful wax flower in white. And I'm just gonna add, this is kind of like our flyaway. If you guys been following the channel, you know that a floral arrangement is not a good floral arrangement until it has some of these flyaways, which is what really makes it stand out and look absolutely beautiful and more natural looking. When you work in the industry, flyaways are just as important as real flowers, so make sure that you add some flyaways to your bouquets. I'm gonna add one here on the top, like that. Always facing them forward so you see every single element that you are adding to your bouquets, your wreaths, your lanterns, all the things that we make here at Ramon at Home. I'm gonna add one here. Remember, what goes up must come down, so I'm gonna grab another little bundle of wax flower. I'm gonna bring it here, like this. And then I'm gonna bring some here closer and some to the back. Remember, always, always, always go all the way around. So I'm gonna add one back here. I have a few left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use all of them. I didn't think I would, but I am going to. All right, let's see. You kind of have to step away from it and look at it to know where you need to put flowers. See, I needed something there. I couldn't be able to see it from here. Then I feel like we also need something here. So I'm gonna add the last one right here, like that. All right, so far I love the way this is looking. It is time, however, to bring our ribbons back. Bring back my ribbons. All right, so I'm gonna twist this guy right here, and I wanna show you a trick, but for that I need one of these skewers. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it a loop like this. I'm going to pinch right here. Then I'm gonna bring it close to my form, and using this pick, the back of it, you wanna go ahead and push that fabric into the form. like that. Then you bring your tail and you dovetail it like this. Bring it out like this. So you basically just did another loop of ribbon. And then this one right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and dovetail shorter like this. And so now I'm gonna do the same with this long one right here. I'm going to grab my ribbon, weave it in. I'm gonna pinch really hard. Then I'm going to grab my skewer, the back of it because it's flat. I'm gonna grab that fabric of ribbon and then I'm going to pinch into this form like that. And then you have another loop like that. And look, it looks like there is a bigger bow where you actually just save yourself some fabric. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ribbon and I'm going to dovetail this right here. And that looks finished. And then this guy right here, which is our other tail, I'm going to dovetail but staggering down. You want to see all these ribbons in your wreath, which is what makes it look more designer-like. All right, so far, really good. I love the way this is looking. It's very patriotic, but I'm gonna add a few more elements, so stay tuned, keep watching, I'll be right back. Okay everyone, so I like the way this is looking. However, I feel like the focal point's right here, so I want to extend this focal point all the way throughout the wreath, and the way we're going to do that is we're gonna grab our ribbon, we're gonna dovetail an end right here, and I love this one. This really does make a statement. So dovetail your ribbon. We're gonna fold it in half, probably about 5 to 6 inches. Then we're gonna cut, and we're going to dovetail the other end right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold it in half, staggering them. I'm going to pinch. Then I'm gonna grab one of these skewers that have the wire already in them, and I'm going to swirl all the way around very tightly. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna split those tails, I'm gonna fluff them, give them some character. I'm gonna dip into my glue, this little wooden skewer. Then I'm gonna open up right here and I'm going to add a few more tails. And look at that. That just extended the shape of your bow all the way down. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna let you see one more time. So I'm gonna cut about, I wanna say about 5 inches like this. And then we're going to dovetail both of them. We're going to pinch. I absolutely love this ribbon. Isn't this ribbon just absolutely gorgeous? If you like it, go to Hobby Lobby and get yourself some because they might run out of it. When I was there, they only had like 8 of them left. So pinch and use your skewer. All right, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing here, just by adding more tails. Look at that, it really does extend the shape. And now I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna do it with the other ribbon that I have. So I'm gonna cut about 5 to 6 inches. I'm going to go ahead and flatten them and then fold in half, cut against the wire, and then we're going to pinch like this. We're gonna grab our little wire, skewer or stake, and we're gonna really tightly, you have to do really tightly, so that way it doesn't come off. Just give him a little character, and I'm gonna add this guy right here on the top. And look at that. Just give it extra tails. Make sure that you bring the designer side forward like this. All right, I feel like it looks really good. However, I do want to add a little bit more character, and for that, I'm going to add a few of these red ornaments. And when I use the red ornaments on the lantern, if you guys haven't seen the lantern video, I'm gonna link it right here. And then also in the description box below, I use some red ornaments, and you guys were like, oh my gosh, I've never seen red ornaments used for 4th of July. So basically just dip your ornament right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one and I'm gonna add it right here. And look at that, it just adds that celebration feel that we all are waiting for the holidays. You can use your ornaments all year round. That's why I like to buy different colors of ornaments. For the holidays, because you can use them for 4th of July, you can use them for Halloween, you can use them for all your celebrations. So I'm gonna add another one probably right here. I'm gonna open up my greenery and look at that. It just adds that little sparkle and that little unexpected feel, and this is looking absolutely gorgeous. I hope you guys are enjoying these DIY and ideas. I'm gonna add another one right here by the rose. So I'm just gonna dip a little bit of my glue, getting the excess off, like this. And then I'm going to add right here by this rose, like that. And as soon as that glue like dries a little bit, it'll stay exactly where we need it. All right, so I'm gonna fluff this wreath a little bit. I'm gonna take it to the door and show you what it looks like, so keep watching. Okay, so I wanna show you real quick how you can change the look of your door hanger for your wreaths. So basically you're gonna grab your very generic wreath hanger, and then you're gonna grab your ribbon of your preference. I really do like this 4th of July sparkly one. I'm gonna have to go get me some more just so I can have on my stash. Then what you want to do is you're gonna grab yet another strip of the same ribbon, and you're gonna measure, so you basically need 2 of them, okay? You're gonna cut right here. And what I want you to do is I want you to cut them together so they are the same length, like that. Perfect. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're gonna grab your hot glue gun, and you're gonna add some glue to the seam or the end of both sides, like this. It is such an easy way to really upscale the look of any wreath or any door hanger for your celebration. Then what I want you to do is you're gonna grab the other one and you're going to join them together like this, like so. Then you're gonna let it dry for a few seconds. Once it's dry, what you want to do is grab your hanger and you're basically going to feed it. This is a tricky part because you don't want it to come undone. So you're basically going to feed this hanger. It's like a sleeve that you're making for your hanger. And the good thing about it is because you can change it every time that you make a wreath, just as long as you have enough ribbon. Let me show you what this looks like on the door. So I just wanted to show you real quick what the wreath looks like on the door, and I just love the way this look. That ribbon really shimmers and sparkles when the sun hits it, and it is just so beautiful. The flower selection I think is very appropriate. There's not very many flowers, and the plaque with the USA really also is outstanding. And I also love the little flyaways, the little touch of white, and look at the contrasting ribbons, how absolutely gorgeous this looks. And that goes all the way up with a hanger for this particular door piece. Cannot wait to read your comments, so let me know what you think. Now, wasn't that gorgeous wreath super easy and very affordable to make? I really love the way this brings out the patriotic feel to the front of my house. But now I'm gonna take you all the way to the back to the patio, and I'm gonna show you how to set a beautiful patio table, as well as how to make a chandelier with Dollar Tree items, and how to set up basically a whole patio for a 4th of July or very patriotic celebration for summer this year. Let's watch. All right, you guys, so for our patriotic table, I have chosen this really pretty red gingham or checkered runner or placemat. And I like to call it a runner because I'm gonna use it as a runner. As you guys can see, I'm using it on the horizontal. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and put the charger. And that wicker is really gonna give it a more Americana feel to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that down and put our charger on top, and then I'm going to readjust and make sure that they all sit about the same, because we want to have space for our centerpiece, and you want to make sure that it is creating this square right here. All right, so I'm gonna get my white dishes and I'll be right back with you. Okay, pause it. All right, everyone, so our next step is to lay down our white dishes. I've always told you that a white set of dishes is all you need to make any holiday season pop. And so for this particular one, I have these Ralph Lauren napkins, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold them and then place them down, and then I'm gonna put my bowl right on top. Now this is very simple. You basically just fold them in half, fold it again, go down, and then put your bowl on top. And that's gonna bring some of the blue that we need for the red, white, and blue. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same over here, like this. And I have one more. As you guys can see, there's no fuss about this. Anyone can do it. The secret here is the colors. It is perfect for what the celebration calls it. So then I have these really pretty blue wine glasses that I'm going to use, and I have 4 of them, and these go to your right of your table, so just make sure that you bring those right here. Now I'm gonna get my centerpieces ready, and you guys are gonna help me decide what centerpiece I should use, so stay tuned. All right, you guys, so this would be centerpiece number 1, and that would be very simple. As you can see, it is just a candle holder. I think it calls for the occasion. It has a lot of the stars right here, the red, white, and blue. It keeps it super simple. And then I also made this one you guys saw me how to make, and I like it because it has a lot of the flags. Now this would be a little bit on the way, as you can see, but I like it a lot because, well, it's very patriotic. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below and let me know which one you would use. At this point, you would have to readjust all your wine glasses as I'm doing. So leave me a comment down below and let me know which one will you use, the more patriotic one with the flags or just the simple one. All right, everyone, so now we're gonna put our chandelier together, and I'm so excited because I've been thinking about this for a long time. It is super simple. So basically what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and tie the lanterns. Now you want about 36 inches from the table because you don't want it to obstruct the view from your guest. And these ribbons, don't worry about cutting them too short. What I want you to do is I want you to just create a bow right here, a bow tail. And then you let that ribbon hang, which it gives a lot of character. And then what you can do is just finish your ribbon by cutting them on a slant. So that's gonna be the shortest one, or the lower hanger one. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here. I'm so excited. So then what you wanna do is you wanna go up a little bit from that, and you wanna do the same thing. You're gonna tie it like this and create a bow with a remaining ribbon. Like that, and then we'll cut that tail. And so basically you want to go ahead and do that with all of them, creating a cluster of these lanterns. So it's going to look very patriotic, and I promise you, your guests and your family are going to be like super impressed. As you can see, we have 3. I'm going to do one more out here, just about there. You want to stagger them, that way it creates a lot of texture. Like that. I have, let's see, I want this one to be a little taller. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it right there, creating that bow. Isn't this cute? And as you guys can see, it only cost a few dollars to create something beautiful like this. All right, so I finished our chandelier. However, I can see the pipe cleaners, and that really is going to bug me. So what I did is I just want to go ahead and grab some loose green foliage, and I'm gonna go ahead and cover them so that way they're not visible when people are sitting up or down, because you want it to look finished. So just go ahead and make sure that you put them in here and cover all of that so it looks professionally done. How cute is that? As you guys can see, it really makes an impact. And now we're gonna set the table and show you what it all looks together. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so in our last video, Jamison explained the reason why we have the windows here, and we also show you how to hang them. Well, for this particular makeover, I wanna do something very patriotic. So what I did, I just went ahead and put a little thumbtack there, and I'm gonna hang some banners, some star-spangled banners to make this porch even more patriotic. Now, I was told to do it correctly, and you have to make sure that your stars hang to the left. If they are going to the wind, you need to make sure that you blow them going to the left, and there's a reason why. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right here and make them even. And how cute is this? I cannot wait for you guys to see the whole patio put together. Right now, I'm gonna show you how I set the table for 4, since my grandma and my mom are coming for lunch. So keep watching. Okay, so now that we have the front door all decked out in red, white, and blue, and the patio also all decorated for a patriotic celebration, I'm gonna take you into the dining room and I'm gonna show you a few things. I'm gonna show you how to set up a gorgeous server, a beautiful table, and I'm gonna show you how to make a beautiful bouquet for a side table. So it's going to be super easy, affordable, and I think you're gonna learn a few tricks. So let's watch. All right, everyone, so before I set my large bouquet right here on the sideboard, I have this really cute banner with American flag and some stars that I want to hang on top of this picture just to make it a little more festive. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to slide one of these little flags behind the picture like that, and then I'm going to let it hang, and I'm going to go all the way behind the other side and just carefully tag the other one down. And you just have to readjust like this. So that's really cute, right? And what I like about this is because you can adjust them up and down, like this right here. This came from Shinoda Design Center as well. And then right here, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna have our little map with the United States with the little stripes. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this tray with these candles. I'm gonna set it right here just for another touch of red, white, and blue. The lamp really accentuates this, so it is now time to bring the large bouquet, and you guys, I cannot wait to show you. Stay tuned. All right, so if you've been following Ramon at home for a while, then you know that the first thing I like to do when I do a floral bouquet, it's green my container. Now, also let's keep in mind that this is going to go inside of our larger pot and it's gonna sit on the rim, so we have to really disguise that form, and not only disguise it, but extend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put one down and then one up. I'm gonna spin it around a little bit and I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and bend it down because remember, we have to hide some of that perimeter on the large container. Oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot believe it's almost 4th of July. We have about a month before 4th of July, and I'm super excited because it is one of my favorite holidays. Hopefully we'll get the fireworks this year. I hope that we get some fireworks because it is my favorite thing to do here in San Diego. Just head on over to the beach and look at the fireworks. All right, so I've used all of my palm. That I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of this right here for height. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I also put some down like this. And we wanna make sure that we extend it as far as we can. So just let it flop like that. That is perfect. I'm gonna add an ivy to contrast on the other side. Like I said, the greeneries don't really matter what you do, what kind of greeneries you put in there. I just recommend that it's a variety of greens so that way it's more natural looking. In the floral industry, we always like to use a variety of greeneries because the more greeneries you use on your bouquets, well then the more natural it will look. All right, so far we have about 4 kinds of greeneries. And then I'm gonna add some of this really pretty green foliage. This big foliage like this, and I'm gonna add a few only because I always like to use some at the end. I want to make sure that I give myself some room to put my flowers in this foam. All right, so far so good. I cannot wait to read your guys' comments and let me know what do you think about all of these projects that we've done so far. If you have not seen the patio transformation for summer, I really recommend you go after this video, go check it out. I'm gonna put it on the description box because we're gonna do a patio makeover for 4th of July. So I want you guys to see what it looked like before. I'm super excited. Or I'm gonna use some of this fern right here. Like I said, I wanna extend it as much as I can. Actually, I'm gonna put this one up here. So it really takes some of the space on the server. All right, I'm gonna save these 3 for the end. So I'm gonna go ahead, so far we have just a few greeneries as extended out as I can, and I'm gonna get my flowers ready and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, so I'm gonna start by adding this white hydrangea, and on the other bouquet, I painted in blue, but in this particular case, I have blue hydrangea already. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut it short and I'm gonna put the hydrangeas towards the bottom of my bouquet. So they help to cover some of that perimeter. So I'm gonna go ahead and go opposite of that. I'm gonna cut right here. Now don't waste your foliage. I'm gonna show you a trick in a little bit with your foliage that can be used on this particular bouquet. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin it around like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert like this. And then we're gonna put one more right here because you know that I like to do a triangle, and that triangle is what brings the balance to your bouquet. So we have two. I'm gonna go ahead and put another one right here. As you guys can see, if I was to flip it like this, then you have that famous triangle that is very necessary on the floral design world. All right, and these particular ones right here, you can cut all the way to the stem like that, and just leave the foliage, and you can insert that foliage. That way it has some hydrangea foliage like that. So don't waste your foliage. Let me add one more. I'm gonna cut all the way to where that foliage falls out. Then I'm gonna add right here with the hydrangeas. It looks like it is part of the flower, like that. All right, let's do the last one. I think I have another one. I'm gonna go ahead and add it right here, so it falls out of the hydrangea. Perfect, don't waste anything. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some of these blue hydrangeas. So I'm gonna add probably, I'm gonna cut about this much. Don't be afraid to cut your stems. And a good set of wire cutters really work. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bend like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one right here on the top. Then make sure that it just stands like that. It's perfect. The reason why we gave it that curvature is so it stands up forward. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add another one, but I want it to be a little bit lower, so I'm gonna cut even down a little bit further. These stems are little. That's a good quality flowers. They usually have a stem that's really hard to cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. Now, when you have these type of flowers, it is best if they are together like that because they grow in groups, so they look more natural. What is not natural is keeping the tags on, so make sure you take all of those off. So this one I needed to go down further down a little bit more, so I cut it even shorter, give it that little curvature to the stem. As you guys can see, it's curved to one side. Then I'm gonna go ahead and come here, and I'm gonna put it down like that. And as you guys can see, it helps them to stagger down, and it just gives it a lot of balance. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use some of these really pretty roses. Now these come, look how pretty these are. They dangle, they look so natural. So I'm gonna add a few up here. So I'm gonna cut this one short like this. I'm gonna insert right here. Now what I want with these ones is I'm gonna start right here, but I want them to cascade down. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut right here. Now I do wanna make, we're gonna make a 4th of July wreath, and it's gonna be fabulous, and we're gonna be using some of the same flowers. So I really recommend to have a cohesive look by adding all the same. Look how pretty this is. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna add one more right here. Once again, adding them in a triangle like this, and just let them cascade down like that. And I have one more, so why not add it to it? Let's see. I'm gonna add it, this one is very vertical, so I'm gonna add it right to the top, right here. And there's nothing more patriotic than red, white, and blue like this. But what is really gonna send this bouquet over the top is going to be the American flags. And I'm gonna add some of these American flags starting right here with the blue hydrangea, and I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. Then I'm gonna start staggering up. I want this to be the focal point, and at this point I would need it to be here. Well, my flag doesn't reach, so I'm gonna put this guy right here to the side to show you a trick. So when you have a shorter stem like this, once again, grab one of your skewers, and what you wanna do is you wanna meet it right here. And you can either do this with a wire, or you can also do it with florist tape. That's why I always recommend to have florist tape at hand, because look what it can do. It can just extend any stem by bonding them together, just like that. So I'm gonna do one more. If you guys are learning, if you guys have learned any tips here, Ramon at Home. I would really like if you write down in the comment section, what have you learned? What is your favorite thing that you have learned here on the channel? And then also want you to know that I'm super excited about the holiday season, because this year is really going to be big, since our friends at Shinoda are gonna be sponsoring some of our videos. So we're gonna have a lot of fun things to play with, and I cannot wait, you guys. If you saw the haul, then you know that it's a massive super warehouse full of really beautiful florals and things like that. And I just cannot wait. They really have some of the best products. I don't know if you know, but I used to go to market in Atlanta and Dallas, and that's what it feels like when you go to market to purchase merchandise for a store. All right, I'm gonna do one more. You get to see all of the best displays, and that is exactly what Shinoda does. They display some of their merchandise to inspire their visitors. And well, you guys know that that's what I love to do. So all right, we're gonna use 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here. I'm gonna bring my bouquet back. I'm gonna put my flags to the side right here. So I'm gonna bring this guy back into the picture. So I have one right here. Like I said, I want to stagger them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one right here. Make sure that goes into the foam like that. And then I think I want that to be the tallest one. So then basically what I wanna do is I wanna bring him forward to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert one, but I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that radiates like this and go down a little bit down. Take that tag off. Then I'm gonna spin it around. Look how gorgeous. Thumbs up. Oh my gosh, this deserves a thumbs up. All right, so I have one more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same, just fin it out to me, like this. So pretty. There you go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut just a little bit of this one right here. So it goes down, further down a little bit, and I'm gonna add it right about here. Make sure that you go into that foam like this. And you can readjust any of them. Like that one needed to be readjusted. All right, so far so good. I feel like we're gonna use these last few greeneries that I have to kind of fill in. So I'm gonna go ahead. And now I want to mention also, this is something you could do with fresh flowers. If you want to do this with fresh flowers, it'd be so gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and add this one probably right here in between the flags, like that. And so if we put this guy right here on top of our container, you get a really tall and gorgeous bouquet. But I'm gonna go put this in our server. I'm gonna show you how to set the table, and it'll be absolutely stunning. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so once we place our large bouquet with our flags here, you can go ahead and just readjust the flowers if you like, readjust your flags. Make sure they all flare out to one side, and I absolutely love the way this looks. Now that you know what my sideboard looks like, all decorated for the 4th of July, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set the table and how we're gonna use the centerpiece I just show you how to make. Keep watching. All right, to finish the look here on the sideboard, I have these red pillows that I'm gonna go ahead and add on these 2 chairs that I have right next to the sideboard, and it really will just tie the whole look together. I just wanted to show you that you can create a fabulous 4th of July look in your home without having to break the bank. What do you guys think? Thumbs up? All right, everyone, so I wanna start with this fabulous runner that I got at Shinoda, and it is the American flag, and I absolutely love it. With all the stars and the stripes, it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that's gonna be our base layer, and what's gonna make it look very patriotic. And to me, nothing is more Americana than wicker. I also love these chargers. These are, I think they're from a few years ago, a local shop in Kansas. It's called Nail Hills. I think they still carry them if you are interested. You can call them. All right, so I'm gonna put my wicker down. Then I'm gonna go ahead and layer my white dishes. And as you guys know, I love to use white dishes because I feel like everything just pops. So right now I'm using a salad plate and a dinner plate. So I basically just go ahead and put them down, and everything's going to pop from it. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so then the next step will be to bring a beautiful napkin. And for that occasion, I'm gonna use this white and blue that were gifted to me by one of the viewers, Cynthia Green. If you're watching, thank you so much. I also love, and I love the contrast of the plaid right here with the stripes. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and perfect for the 4th of July. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring the centerpiece and I'm gonna show you what it all looks like put together. If you made it this far into the video, I want to ask you for a few things. Number one is to give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends because that really helps the channel. And number two is to follow me on my social medias like Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all the things you don't get to see here on the YouTube channel. All the links to the social medias are going to be linked down below. Let's get back to the video with a beautiful funky bow. Hello everyone, I am Ramon. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. And on today's video, I want to show you how to create this perfect bow that I'm going to be using on my 4th of July wreath. So I wanted to take this opportunity to show you how I make the perfect bow so you can learn how easy it really is. So the things I'm going to need is going to be these 3 types of ribbon. I chose these very patriotic ribbons. However, this can apply for any season. All you have to do is pick the ribbons of your choice. Now I want to mention that I have a 2.5 ribbon, a 1.5 ribbon, and this one right here is a 3.5. So 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. And when you're making this type of bow, you want to select different sizes so it really has a lot of texture. I'm gonna use some pipe cleaners. I'm also gonna use one of my zip ties and my scissors. All right, let's get started. The very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this to the side right here. Put everything to the side so you have a clear surface to work with. And I'm going to measure with my measuring stick right here. I'm gonna cut lengths of 33 inches. And I want all of them to be the same length. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here at 33. And once you cut your ribbon, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and fold it like this in half. Fold it in half again. And you're going to cut from the edge to the wire to dovetail your ends. You want all of your ends to be dovetail. All right, I'm going to do a lot of the cutting of the ribbons and I'll be right back with you with all of them all ready to assemble. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, so we are back and I have 5 of the 3.5. I have 5 of the 2.5. And I have 5 of the 1.5, and look how pretty this looks. This is gonna go on our 4th of July wreath, which will be our next video. I just wanted to take advantage of the fact that we can pre-make the bow. That way we don't do it when we're making the wreath. All right, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab my thickest one, which is going to be the 3.5. I'm gonna put it right here to the side. Actually, I'm gonna put all of them to the side so I can work on that surface. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of the thickest ones and I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half like this. And I'm gonna measure so I can tell you exactly how many inches. So you're gonna go about 6.5 to 7 inches from the top all the way right here, and that's where we're going to pinch. Now you can gather like this, and what you need to do is you need to go ahead and open these guys right here. And that's basically creating half of the bow. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring one of the 2.5 and I'm gonna measure that the tails are about the same, and then I'm gonna pinch right here. Then I'm gonna do the loop, and then I'm gonna pinch down here. And you open your loop and you wanna make sure that you continue to open this. And then you're going to loop forward and then you're gonna gather and pinch like this. So then you're creating bows on each side. So now I'm gonna grab one of the 1.5 and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Basically just give it the tail like this, fold in half and then pinch again, letting that designer pattern forward. All right, so now that we have this, I'm gonna go ahead and do one like this. I'm gonna go and loop opposite side. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this tail up. I'm gonna pinch. It needs a little bit more. As you guys can see, it is super easy and very just repetitive. And then you're gonna pinch right here and you're gonna gather like that. Then you're gonna grab one of your 2.5 and you're gonna do the exact same thing, making sure that designer look, when you fold, it shows like this. I'm gonna bring it forward. As you guys can see, it's super easy. I mean, all it takes is a little bit of time. You have to readjust your loops. Feel free to just let loose on your finger and readjust. And then now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and add one of the 1.5, and then we're gonna do the opposite. And then we're gonna tie it all together. So like this. Like that, you can fluff it. And so now that I went down, remember the rule of thumb, what goes up must come down. So I'm gonna basically do the same, but now I'm gonna go the opposite way. So I'm gonna pinch right here. Then I'm gonna bring my loop, I'm gonna pinch again. I'm gonna repeat with a 1.5. Here. And I'm gonna fold, and then I'm gonna pinch again to create that loop. All right, so I think this is good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my zip tie. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way around all of this. You could also do this just with a pipe cleaner, but what I'm gonna do is just using a zip tie is way easier, and you'll see why in a second. So once you have it like this, what I want you to do is drive one of these pipe cleaners through, right here, and pull it through. And that's what's we're gonna use to attach to the wreath. And then you just pull really tight as you can. And then you cut the excess with your wire cutters. And as you guys can see, now we'll have this to attach to the wreath. And what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and go out there and fluff every single loop like this. And this bow is ready for our wreath. And that will be our next video. So if you guys enjoyed the video and learned something, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Give it a thumbs up and share with a friend, and I cannot wait to be back. All right, so I wanted to give you an option real quick. If you don't have that big of a budget, I want to show you how you can only spend a few dollars and also have a fabulous wreath for the 4th of July for your front door. And also, if you live in a home where you have a storm door or a nursery home or somewhere where the doors are smaller, I'm gonna show you an option that is only gonna cost you a few dollars. So basically, I recycled these wreath forms from the dollar store, and I put one back to another one, and it makes it look like a donut. So we're gonna use 2 of these. We're gonna use one of these red track little plugs from the dollar store. I'm going to use some of this garland. They are 9 feet, and I bought 2 of them, and I really think that we're gonna need 2 of them to cover the whole donut. And then also I'm gonna use 2 of these pipe cleaners, as well as my staple gun or stapler. All right, let's get started real quick. So what I want to do is I'm going to cover this donut with the garland, and what you want to do is just want to go ahead and grab this garland and give it a little bit of a give, stick it in here, and then go over it one more time, and then you just start basically fitting this garland through the donut. You want to make sure that you do it very tightly, so that way you cover all the perimeter. And this is going to be the most tedious part of this job, because you have to cover this whole donut. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so once you get to the end of your garland, it is wire. So what you need to do is you need to strip a little bit of the wire from all of the tinsel and just swirl it around your form, and it all stay in place just like this. So that's what it's going to look like. And I also love this little garland because it has all these little stars. So just give it a little brush so they pop forward, and it is very patriotic. How cute is that? All right, the next step is going to be to get rid of this hanger thing from the plaque. Basically just get rid of it. Then I'm going to find the way where I want to hang it, and I kind of want to hang it catty corner like this. So I'm gonna grab this little corner and this corner right here, kind of mark them with your finger so you know where. And then what you want to do is you want to grab 2 of your pipe cleaners, So put them catty corner like this, and then just staple it in a few places. Once you staple it, go ahead and put it back into your plaque or into your wreath form. And then you want to use this pipe cleaner to tie it really tight on the back. Okay, so I'm going to use the same ribbon that I used for my other projects. So I'm going to leave probably about I want to say about a foot tail. We're going to pinch and we're just going to make a cute little bow real quick by adding a little bow right here. I don't want it to overpower the truck. So it has to be a little bit more on the smaller size. And the smaller the bow you make, the more loops you can make. So I'm going to do probably a 4. Let's see. Well, since we're almost out of ribbon, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 5. Make sure you twist that ribbon. And then you go to the opposite side, like this. And then you twist and you go to the opposite side. And look, it was just the right amount of ribbon I had left. So I'm gonna grab my pipe cleaner and I'm gonna put it through the bow. Then I'm going to pull back like this and really tight like this. And then once you put tight like that, grab this other tail and make sure that you push it down. And then you have both tails facing down. So now I'm going to try and get this through the truck right here. Let's see. This is gonna be the tricky part because of all the tinsel. But the good thing about it is that it's open, so you can just basically put your finger through there and search for that pipe cleaner. Oh my gosh. Hang on, let me take it off and back. Sometimes you just have to do whatever you have to. There it is. And then you pull really tight and you tie it together. Okay, we can hang it back. Oh, how cute is this? Look at that. Let's see. Make sure you fluff. Yeah, this is really, really adorable. I love it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dovetail these ends. And make sure that both sides are facing forward. And then we're gonna dovetail this one right here. That's super adorable. Now, what I love the way this looks. However, we do have this little bag of stars that cost $1, and I already have my hot glue gun already plugged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just grab these cute little stars. So I'm gonna start gluing some of these little stars, and all you have to do is add just a little dab of glue, and you can alternate red, white, and blue, small, large, medium, and just give it a little bit more texture to your design. Look how cute this is, you guys. I'm going to get it all done up and I'm gonna hang it on the door and show you what it looks like, so keep watching. So I just want to show you how this cute little wreath turned out with the truck, the beautiful bow made out of this gorgeous patriotic ribbon, and then also I want to show you how proper it looks with the hanger cover that I show you guys how to make. It really does blend in beautifully together, and I just love the little detail of the red truck. And now wait to read your comments. Alright you guys, well that's all I have for today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun going through this compilation of summer DIYs to help you with your decorating this summer and then also for 4th of July. Remember, you're gonna find another video right here with more patriotic DIYs to help you with your summer decorating. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment, consider subscribing, and you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.